Welcome to Screenville, and welcome to Studio 190. I'm going to say a few things before we begin. So, just to introduce the studio to you guys, this is it's a community space, and it's meant to try and tap into sort of lesser expressed creative energies in this area. And so, this night is kind of an experiment. I decided to just see if I was like, let's do a screening night, and let's see if there are people that would be interested in coming to one, and let's see if there would be people that have films to show. I had no idea. And apparently, there are plenty of people have films to show, and this house is packed. This is incredible. Thank you so much for being here. By the way, there are programs in the back, and before you guys go, I hope that you put your email on the email list if you haven't already. Let's see. Yeah, so we have 19 films tonight, and they range from, I think, people that are probably doing maybe their first films to people that are literally like in the industry in LA. We got animation, we got film industry people, and I hope that after this is all said and done, you guys hang out and you talk and you get to know each other and you ask each other like what inspires you and all those kinds of cool questions. So the way it's going to work is there's a red carpet right here, reddish carpet right here, and I am going to I'll introduce this first film. I'll introduce the person. They're going to come up. I believe it's Ignacio. Yes. Tell us a little bit about your film, what inspired you. It doesn't have to be long, just whatever you want to say to kind of set it up. And then I'm going to play the film, and then after that, you'll know that you're next in the program, and just come up, and we'll just sort of have you guys basically run it. And I'll be in the back, making sure that all the films are in order, and that things run smoothly. So. So that's it. And we are going to begin. Ignacio. Please applaud after the film.
Hi, my name is Ignacio. I made a student film with my teacher, Mr. Lyons, Deron as they call him. And what inspired me to make the video was to try my craft at creating kind of crescendo the video with the music and the sound effects. And it came out pretty good. I have to keep the cuts more for the attention span, just cuts more shorter together. But it's my second film, and I hope you like it. Nice.
The act of waiting has two aspects: an opportunity for a bit of peace and contemplation on the one hand. You have nothing to do but wait until the unexpected moment arrives. Time elapses, whatever happens, and that certainty has something reassuring about it. Take your place at a bus stop. Very often there's a moment of slack before the bus arrives. You don't know exactly how much time you'll have to wait. The bus has got stuck in a jam, or is broken down. You're going to be late. You must find an alternative means of transportation, provide explanations, telephone people to warn them, even change your timetable. The entire day may be put out. Every meeting will have to be pushed back. Maybe the bus will arrive, with no brakes left. It will trigger a series of uncontainable events. Is there a new virus on board? Some murderous biological weapon? Continue, amplify, exaggerate. It doesn't matter if it all seems grotesque, that you don't believe a word of it, that you can laugh it all off, remaining convinced that a perfectly ordinary bus will be arriving shortly. However minor its cause, the vague idea of some dreadful event remains there like a tiny crack, a potential weakness in the normal course of affairs. Here's the bus. You get on. Everything seems to be as usual. But are you so sure?
I'm not Jose. My name is Gerald Lyons. We launched a new video program at Porterville College this year. And so Jose couldn't make it tonight, but this one of the projects that we do is just kind of sketch some kind of a quick sequence that's trying to respond to narration. So this one is practice make-believe.
The moments when you feel crushed are also those when you end up believing that life is serious, the world real, and words true. Countering this tiresome tendency is luckily not too complicated. It can be enough, at least when starting out, to transform each situation systematically and turn it into a scene from a play. A metamorphosis of this kind affects not only your internal perception of events, it can change your voice, your gestures, your sentences, and even what happens. This morning, for instance, you are not grabbing a book from the library. You are living the life of a boy with a lightning-shaped scar on his head, destined to defeat evil. Maybe you have no magic, and instead your power comes from you and the strength of your bow, and motivated by the need to survive and be the last one alive. Or traverse a monstrous maze where you are the hero and are meant to save your friends. Throw yourself into a love triangle where finding the love of your life depends on between who you choose, a werewolf or a vampire. But in the end, you are none of those things. This time, you have no power, and you have to do with what you have. Full of apprehension, holding the book like an encumbrance or an embarrassment, not knowing what to do with it or how to hide it. Filled with a guilty feeling that you could be something you're not. Have a nice day.
It's on. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This is watch somebody sleeping. So basically, it's like it was more of like. Yeah, go ahead. We made this like a year ago, so I can't remember what we made this for.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name's Christian Rivera. All right, this is Tino. All right, he has stage fright, as you can see. But this was a collaborative project between 3 students, me, Tino, and our friend Esteban, who sadly has not shown up today. So I think we'll just let the film do all the talking for now.
You are familiar with each centimeter of her skin, the timbre of her voice, the movements of her eyes, and nearly all her reactions. You love her laugh, the carriage of her head, everything, even, for instance, that tiny imperfection, possibly known only to you. In short, you are already acquainted. However, if you watch her sleeping, you will very probably have the impression of not knowing her completely. The face is no longer present to itself. There seems to be an inner absence. Eyes closed, body languid, posture unusual. Usual, that ineradicable innocence, and her breathing sounds far away. So why do you feel this curious mixture of total confidence, slight anxiety, and vague embarrassment, as if you were present at some scene you should not be witnessing? Perhaps you cannot really be sure that this sleeping beauty is indeed the same as the woman you love. You will never know. It may seem droll, and yet all you can do is carry her along with your tenderness, which you can extend as far as possible into the living heart of this silence, of which she knows nothing.
Hello again, everybody. Obviously, I'm not Abby Stevens. This film that's coming up right now, this was actually a whole group project, around 6 of us, and Abby was our director. Sadly, she couldn't make it today. And again, this one is, you guys know the last film? This one blows the other one way out of proportion. All right? This one we took way more time with. Again, bigger crew for this one. This one I'm actually way more passionate about as well. And it also features me and Tino as like the main actors in this one. So hope you guys enjoy it.
I really do not like it. I've tried to like it, and after several attempts over the years, I still, well, can't stand it. I don't get sick after swallowing it, nor does it tickle or irritate me, so I'm not allergic to it. It's purely a matter of taste. Nonetheless, I have to eat it. I try the odd mouthful from time to time in a stoical manner and in a spirit of independence. After a few years of persistence, I started eating it almost without noticing. I still don't like it, but the fact has become banal, my displeasure blunted, and a state of indifference almost attained. I might eventually end up with a fondness for the food, to be honest. Not because of its taste. I still hate it, though miracles can happen. Nor because I've grown used to it from repetition, but rather out of a kind of tenderness toward myself for having overcome my original disgust of this stuff.
So it's good, yeah?
Yes.
Nonetheless, I have to eat it. I try the odd mouthful from time to time in a stoical manner and in a spirit of independence. After a few years of persistence, I started eating it almost without noticing. I still don't like it, but the fact has become banal, my displeasure blunted, and a state of indifference almost attained. I might eventually end up with a fondness for the food, to be honest. Not because of its taste. I still hate it, though miracles can happen. Nor because I've grown used to it from repetition, but rather out of a kind of tenderness toward myself for having overcome my original disgust of this stuff.
So it's good, yeah?
Yes.
Hello. Dear Lions. Just kidding, I'm Lorenzo. Dear Lions is my professor, but this is a group effort. We just put his name here first. So, this is our film, Payback. Should have been Payback Part 1, because it's actually Part 1 of the epic saga, but yeah, this is what we got going on. So, we were trying to do a movie on a budget of $0, and we came up with a noir film. That was actually Tino's idea.
You're welcome.
Noir film, silent, murder, because people love murder for some reason. But yeah, it's appealing. We hope you enjoy Part 1 of the epic saga. It's a little bit funny, a little bit, trust me.
haven't been a student with you.
I'm back. Here on. Not Xavier. Xavier Martinez. This was another group project. Another philosophical prompt has been released, and then they narrate it, and then they try to make these relationships between the words and pictures. So that's what this is. If you've ever had the feeling of, wow, this room or this place or this park is bigger than I remember it, that's kind of the meditation of this movie. Hey!
It happens to us all, in memory, which is often precise and detailed. It was huge, a vast field, an expanse of rough ground to run about in, a place for hide and seek, for ambush. Crossing the middle of it, without cover, took courage. To go from one end to the other demanded patience and a fair amount of strength. We didn't grow up there, and we never got the chance to go back and measure ourselves against it as we grew. And now, as an adult, we are suddenly there again. It's a tiny space, shrunken, stunned, shriveled away. And yet it's just the same. The tennis court, playground, basketball court. Experiment with this feeling of surprise and strange unease. You take yourself as a reference point, but you have no immediate perception of your own change in size. So you imagine, spontaneously, that it is the things themselves that have changed, shrunk, and crowded together, which is why, all of a sudden, you feel like a giant. Even though you know full well that it is not the case, your unease remains. Your memory and your present perception refuse to be synchronized. Each is vivid. Both are incompatible. You feel in yourself a false relation and somehow excluded between your memory, which is correct, and your current perception, which is correct too. What encumbers you is the questioning of your own nostalgia.
Hello, I'm obviously not George. But the movie was directed by Ignacio, George edited, and Roxanne and I acted in it, and it's like a dreamlike movie. So I hope you enjoy.
Hello, I'm not Jessica, but she couldn't make it today, so I'll speak for her. I'm Angel, I'm the actor and editor.
Hi, Angel.
Angel. Pretty much what we were doing with this film is just being creative and faking your shots. Yeah. Hope you enjoy it.
You don't know where you are, so you ask yourself, where am I? Then you see a house. No, it's that bridge you have longed to see, the one that's been haunting you. Take a closer look. You see a tree. On that said tree, you see a little shine. You look for a bit. Then, you see it's a ring. You awe in its beauty, so you put it on. As you turn around, you remember the bridge. Why am I so scared of it? Do I have a reason? As you get closer, see its beauty. You don't remember why you're so scared. Deciding to take a seat. You relish in its beauty. The rocks, the old wood, the tree, the view. Watching cars go by. You remember. Yes, the ring. Why was it on the tree? Is this why I'm so scared of this bridge? Maybe. I can't remember. Turning around, you remember. You remember why you're so scared. It's her. Who is she? Why is she here? What does she want from me?